By dear name of Creator of the world and all existence, this is part 2 of my speech for Christmas and New Year of 2026. My name is Sayyid Muhammad Ali Meraji and I am the true prophet. In the last video, we talked, in the part 1 of this video, we have talked about that my position as a God prophet is above all and everyone. It's above all kings, all queens, all presidents, all party leaders, and all religious leaders, Pope, and everyone else. In last video as well, we talked about that none of my past position has changed. My past positions was one of it that I am against Danish politicians occupy important international jobs because if they do, they have to, on that position, they do nothing but try to serve their royals. And as well, I was against, and I am against that Danish prince and so on marry a what you call it, a crown princess, and by that become husband or what you call it, king of a country. None of these positions has changed. And also every other, and my position against kings, against I do not recognize Charles of Britannia or Frederick of Denmark or Ben Salman in Saudi Arabia. I know all these nations, all these Christian nations, Judaism, and what you call it, and all Islam as a kingdom of God. It is does not change. One of the other positions that I had in past is that mosque, churches, and so on. It must it must in their document who owned that property, or instead of it be church ministry or I don't know, agriculture ministry or religion ministry or whatever, instead of that, it must be God, creator of the world, directly as owner of that place. It is one of the things that I want. These things does not change. And so when a catastrophe destroy a place, destroy a city or something like that, well, all the people that some of them are alive, well, they own their property and they can repair it and so on. But what you call it, its owners, all of them, those who inherit what you call it, should have inherited the ground and so on, they're all dead. And there is none of the owners is alive. That property is belong to God. It is belong to what you call it. And because of that, it must not, what you call it, you are allowed to put a wall all around it that it its view does not disturb your eyes. But you are not allowed to, what you call it, to remove it and take it as a part of the city's, what you call it, what city, what you call it, Aarhus and so on. But city own and build it again. It is, you do not have right for that. You should leave it in the way that are. Why? Because people that live in that city always ask, when they grow up, they ask why among all these houses, this house has only a wall around it, no one built it and so on. So he or she can learn that this house is destroyed, God has destroyed in catastrophe this house. So it must remain that there is a God, and he owns all these churches, mosques, and so on. And if he, what you call it, if you do not listen to his prophet, I say exactly what these garbage religions say. In this case, boss, I have right because I am God to the prophet, and because of me, mostly, God has destroyed all these houses or everything else and killed so many. So because of God prophet, God has destroyed this, and it is the real religion, making, the past religion, one bad thing that they are religion of fear, religion of false fear. They have thousands of demons, thousands of, I don't know, bad things like you see in their movies. They have vampire, they have werewolf, they have, I don't know what else, a sort of these dangerous things that they have. There are religions of fear, but the real fear is the real God, is the real storm, is the real, what you call it, flood, is the real earthquake. However, if you see in the movies, you can see an earthquake that 1,000 times more destructive than God's earthquake. You can see a tsunami that, 100 times is stronger than the most strongest tsunami. And so a storm, and so everything else. It is, instead of all this garbage, there must be remain, that real God destroyed must remain as it is, because people should know the real God. And all others like these Hollywood movies and so on that are so dangerous and so on, and God, their God has a tsunami 10 times more. These are worshipping themselves. Real God, you worship the real God. Oh, well, it was about my positions. Now in this part of video, I want to talk a little about a smaller thing, Now first let me talk about human rights. It is not so small thing either. In my last speeches and so on, or what I wrote in my website, I said the human right that UN count on and work on, and try to press the whole world to accept it. It is wrong. If you want to know the right, you should start from the beginning. You should know the rights from child, when the child get born to the day that he died. His rights is not only from 20 to 30 and out from what such a 20 to 30 European or what you call it guy or girl, what right he should have. So this is what you call it the symbol of right for us. No, that is a garbage, you know. If you want to know what is human right, you must start with the child. What is the child right? The first right that he has is have a parents, has a mother, has a father, and to raise the child. And the next thing, when a child grow up, reach sexually active time as a man or as a woman, he should have, according to our nature, you know, maybe according if to you, to the societies that you have built in West or East or whatever else, if a guy, a child is grown up and can manage that society when he is 50 or 60 years old. So he can manage them all and he can marry and so on and make a family. Because you have made such a sophisticated garbage society, human does not change. Human is product of God. Human is what we are. And when girls reach the age of, 8, 9, 10, according to the races, they become women. And boys, 14, 15 or less or more, they become men. That is their right to be man, their right to be woman. Why? A 10 years old girl should wait and she is beautiful, she is what you call it, if she wants to marry, everyone wants to marry her. Why? She should wait until she gets 25, 30 years old and she is ugly, she become fat, she become in her humor and mood become destroyed and no one really wants her anymore. Why? It is, you are destroyed, it is what you call it, her rights. And not only you destroyed her life, but also you say, no, we fought them and we didn't allow them, we didn't allow their churches, their mosque, their parents to marry her to a man and live her life. Instead of marry to a man, we gave her to her neighbor kid to fuck her. We gave her to her classmate to fuck her. We gave her to every place, every camping, every summer travel, every garbage that is around. We gave her to fuck her and abuse her and shoot her out, you know. Instead of give her to her husband and let her, since her, use her beauty, use her being wanting to build her future, to build her future family, to build for all of her life, you know, to keep her husband or love of her husband or dependency of her husband to her and herself to her husband, that That makes a strong family. Instead of that, you has made this garbage. All the women, when they become mother, at the same time they should think soon they are alone mother. They are not real mother, you know. Every guy that is someone with married with someone, he is, maybe he is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. After that, well, maybe become better girl or she go to another. It is the garbage life that you have made for our people. And by this life, you have destroyed children's right to have a proper family, proper home, that they, I don't know that you see sometimes these animals, child and so on, there is, you have a welfare that search for animals and that if they have a bad life and so on, they show, you can see the fear, you can see the bad time, the, what you call it, that they had when a child or what you call it, see his life or her life in danger, see that he's losing his parents, he's losing his mother, his father. It is very bad. You can see in that child. It is a real fear that he see among all these big garbages, no one is to protect me anymore. It is the right of child that with this garbage human right that is look like these Wesley people, you are destroying that child's right. So instead of that, first you should know whatever right of grown up that does not end that child lose father or his mother. And this child until he get the age that what you call it, he grown up become a man or she grown up become a woman and can marry it, until that age her father and her mother be her mother and her father and they live together and the child grow up under their protection. If you can, first, whatever law that you make must guarantee that. You must not make a law that weaken relation or marriage relation of a man and woman. You should not make a law that what you call it, in general, no one get married anymore. No one go. Yes, if we love each other, we live together. Otherwise, we don't need any marriage. They like this, in 60s and so on. It was like that. These are all garbage, There must be real relation and so on. And there is, I have write something here too. These religious people, these who are against abortion and so on, well, it's good that, okay, they don't want a mother kill her own child by abortion and so on. And because of that, they are very good people and they are against abort and so on. But at the same time, they must know that, well, if abort and killing her child is wrong, leaving her alone as a alone mother to serve, to grow up her child, and make her own possibilities less, because as a girl, as a free woman that has no child, he would have had what you call it, more possibility to find a husband. But with that child, will whomever come near, or she know that he know that must he must share the or that woman with the child. She have to use half of their time, most of their time, to raise her child. So if abortion is wrong and she killed the child in, you know, keeping the child and the whole life as a alone mother, and by that she try maybe to have a good, make a good life for a child. But a good family is a man and woman, and if she had a man and this, she could make a better life both for the child and the man. Well, you do not have this possibility to give her, so let her choose that, or kill the child once, or kill the child in the whole life of the child. Because as a alone mother, she cannot, what you call it, she already see that the garbage life that she can make for herself and the child. So let her get free of that child, you know. Let her make her abort, and what you call it, stop to make such child. This I wanted to tell you, it is right of the child, you know, that children's, what you call it, have right to have their family. It is the first thing that human right must think about, must consider. And every other's right, every other's human right in other ages must be in a way that, what you call it, support with the same direction as this human right, as this child rights. If you have a right that destroy the family, if you have a right that, what you call it, make the child orphan, that's a garbage right. You should put it aside. All all the rights that protect this family. So first, make such a human right. After that, ask all countries to, what you call it, accept that. You know, and recently there was first, there was woman right, woman's, I think Human Rights Day, and after that there was daughter of Muhammad the Prophet, martyr, that, and she get killed by one of their own people. We can say one of friends of Muhammad the Prophet, and you know, on the same day you can see that Iranian regime say we should have more leaders, women leaders in, what you call it, in leadership. We need more women. And from the other side, you can see Iranian, you hear that Iranian scientists and so on, they started to impregnate clouds to bring rain and so on. From one side, the regime's name is Islamic, And from other side, the most garbage anti-religion or things you can hear from Iran. You know, in case of women become leader, well, if in Islam, if God, in general, God wanted women as a leader, we would have not waited 1500 years, then garbage Iranian politicians come and say, we want more women in leadership. So garbage, instead of these women that you have, and they are very maybe good, maybe high educated and so on, Muhammad's daughter, if we wanted, we would have put her instead of after the Muhammad, and his her husband Ali, he could serve her, and she was the Rasul, what you call it, the woman Rasul, and her husband served her. But we did not do that. Why? Because it's wrong. Because the word must be men's word. Word must not be women's word. You know, I said there is a singer that say it is a man's word, it is a man's word, but I don't know what a man is nothing without a woman and so on. That singer, all the music and so on is garbage, but that singer has a better understanding about humanity, about society, about life and everything else than these garbage politicians that stand up and say, we need more women in leadership jobs. It is like Muhammad's own daughter, the one that inherited God from her father. It is not good enough, was not good enough. God did not dare to say she should stand and become what you call it, replacer of the Muhammad. But these garbages, these idiots, they what you call it, they say we should have our women are very good educated, good Muslims. It is not, I am not offending any of the, what you call it, these women. And surely they are very, what you call it, religious and so on, and very good educated. But it is not the case. Word, it must be men's word. You know, as a man, there are things that men should do, there are things that men should not do, and there are, as a women is the same. There are things that women should do, there are things that women should not do, there are things that men have to do, there are things that women have to do. You know, word must only be word of what men should do or should not do, what men can do or cannot do. What women should do or should not do should belong to their own territory. It should not belong to the whole society. Why? Because, because you see, it's the garbage that you have made so many homosexuals. Even some people like our Catholic, well, why they are daft that maybe we should accept that there are some, what you call it, there are some men that should be women, and there are some women should be men, and this or that. It is a garbage, God. Even in case of animal, there is a male, there is female, you know. But, and in animal world, the male fight the male, and the female, keep with the winner. And as we see, at human it is the same, you know. Women keep with the winner. It is the way that God has created us. Female, it is best for female to belong to a strong male. Female that belong to a weak male, well, other hit him and abuse her. It is so simple. It is a natural law. It is a natural things. We should, I hate these philosophic, what you call it, garbage, that look at the world, look at the life, look at the existence and everything else, very philosophically, very, what you call it, in a world that is not real, in a world that weak or strong is the same. It is not the reality. The reality is, what you call it, the word should be men's word. If women join a mixed word, make some people weak, some men weak. And we do not want that. Because if those men become weak, their women become abused, and again we have prostitution, we have alone mother, we have this or that, garbage that we have today. So word must be men's word, and even when a woman loses her husband or father and so on, and she should stand for herself, she should keep what you call it, out of home, to be like men, to act like men, to, what you call it, to not get abused by these garbages. I do not say men are good or like that. I say they are garbages. But you have, what you call it, it is the word, it is what we are. We are human. And of course, law and religion and everything else should protect our women. This, what I say here, it does not mean every garbage that have some muscle should go and fuck other woman. These realities of what we are human, this, and you should not go from that. You should not become too idealistic. If you had kept us as a human, you have a mentality of we what we are, maybe that spaceship would have come and sit here because he knew what he has to do with. But you have made a world that there is not clear, and whatever that you don't like, you try to hide, You try to hide all abuses. There are happen many rapes that they do not, what you call it, go and claim of that to police and so on. There happened many things, many wrong things. And even now, sometimes, like the things that a group of people harassing someone and this, it is, It's okay, since as long as they only disturb him psychologically, or disturb her, attack her psychologically, and not, or what you call it, not physically, it's okay, you know. No, it is not okay. You know, in general, between, I think my words, what I'm telling here, or from this subject, jump to another subject and so on, but oh, I say these things because it is important. You know, in case of physically or psychologically, what you call it, punishment, I am totally against all psychologic, what you call it, punishments. The people who raise their child, if the child, or what you call it, do something wrong, and you want to punish the child, you should not punish the child psychologically, you know, and because that would put the bad trace in child, what you call it, in child. Instead of that, if you hit the child, it is much better. The pain of the hit go away, but the psychologically threat that you make, press the child down, that is not good for the child. Well, in case of, as I said, we were talking about woman's right. You know, as I said, society should be man's society. Yes, there are women that, like Madame Curie, that she had has made the logical language. She had made the what you call it, atom, find out about atom and nuclear and so on. Yes, she was very clever. But should we, because of her clever, should we bring women? No. Our women is enough to be women, you know. The rest of that, let these garbage men themselves found about logic language, found their nuclear garbage. Let them self do all these. It must be their word, and it must be them who should find out. You know, as we, like it is, you know, when we grow up, we go to a school, some of us become, what you call it, very highly scientists and so on. Some of us become very highly, what you call it, politicians. Some of us become very highly rich and good business people. And many of us remain worker, or normal, what you call it, people who work in some office. But can you live their life as their teacher? Can you live their life? No. You try to learn them. If they learn, well, they go to the next level and next level. If they could not, you should leave them live their life. As a worker, it's better to live his life than you do not allow him to live his life as a worker. You press him and press him to become a highly educated doctor, but he never could become. So you should let him, what you call it, be whatever it is. In case of, what you call it, you need women, no. You should leave the women to stay women in their home, in their life, in their own territory. They want to be very good, clever woman. It is their their rights. But in the society, in the same way that we had about Muhammad the Prophet's daughter, well, she were the one who inherited the God. But her husband was the one that outside was the one that leader of all Muslims, like Abraham. And inside the home, she said to her husband something or not. It was between them two. Outside should have been her husband. It is man's word, therefore should have been him. And in case of our societies, it must be men's society. They must, gather themselves and learn, and whenever there is need for a good, teacher, those of them who is a good teacher, those of them who is a good, doctor and this or that. And of course, in case of medicine and so on, still it is not bad that some women can manage what women's need in case of medicine and so on. And so this was about clearly here, or like a man, I tell you that word is man's word, once and for all. And you should let women, to be your wife, the one that you most love, and the one that raise your children, keep your home, keep your life. And if she like to educate herself and this or that, it is her right. But it is not like that you bring her, because you do not have any son, you have only daughter. Because of that, well, she should come out and represent from your family. No, it is not like that. Even Muhammad the Prophet, Muhammad who has so many people, should have his daughter sit at home, live at home, and her husband go and say, I am. Even is his case. So if he should be like that, rest of you should be like that too. And this is about human right and woman right and so on. And as I said, let your woman be your woman. To be woman is not easy case. Woman is the most important thing that God has created. And without woman, in less than 100 years, all of us die. And there won't be any human longer. After it was the most important about human right and woman right. Now, small things, like for example, recently, President Trump has said Greenland can become a part of part of U.S. I say if it is the best option that he could, give, and I think they should make election and everyone decide that it should not be only the people that are in parliament decide that it should be or it should not be. It is not a matter of parties or anything else. It is matter of every Greenland people. Oh, and that they like to be American or they want to remain whatever they are. Oh, it is about Greenland. And you know, in case of European court that has said Danish law has discriminated people. In my first video, I said I have been discriminated in Denmark because I was discriminated in Iran since I was 4 years old to 23. It does not mean that in Denmark I should have been, my enemies, my torturers should have been allowed to discriminate me until now that I am 64 years. It is what you call it. In my case, it is my share that I say the European court has right. Because they are, I don't know they are Danish or they are not. What I know that they are allowed to hide, they are allowed to, whenever I go to another city, to another country, they are allowed to hidely come wherever I am and continue their torture there. And it should not be like that. So it is my share of support for Union Court. What else? In recent, what you call it, there is something that I've written. Threats. For example, here in Denmark, since whenever President Trump or anyone else say anything about Greenland and so on, some start to threat, maybe not serious, but they threat less or more. Some people, not everyone. In general, in case of threats, President Trump himself threat, and threats of these days is not threats of past, In the past time, it was like that. If someone threat you, it was he was a danger, and he was what you call it. He is to. You should be ready to fight him. But today, threat is become opposite of that. Why? Because number of traitors is as much. Traitors over the whole world are as much that when the enemy, threat, it is not threat, is only to give these traitors a reason, that they can stand up and say, because of this threat, we betray, Only the threats are giving reason to betray. I say this because all the people should be aware of this case. That and the whole presidency of President Trump was in this case that he threat the the government and the whole nation sometimes, and this threat in the last end become good for that government. Why? So people say, so we have we have to support the government to stand against him. It is a way of helping the governments. And even, I don't know, in case of Greenland and so on, maybe President Trump is to, in the same way, support Denmark. Because, you know, sometimes the recent politic that they are running, the kingly politic that all of them are running, are to laugh at, you know. For example, Danish queen in her 50 years old, or remember Farah Pahlavi from Iran, and because of her, she made what you call it, her 50 years of ruling, or anniversary and so on. And later, because of Greenland and so on, we see Denmark, in Iranian news even, they are written that Denmark know US as a threat to themselves, you know. And we have Iran, and Iran taking US embassy, and since then, they are anti-American and so on. Now, first, our queen is the same. The second, we are both anti-American. The third, we put Frederick and Tyrone here. We put so Pahlavi there on Tyrone. Whatever monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. Pardon me, but I shit on such politics. I shit on all such people. This, in general, this monkey see, monkey do was past religions, or Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, were mostly monkey see, monkey do. But in today's world, that every monkey in this internet, YouTube, or this or that, in every TV channel or movie, can do something, and other monkeys do the same garbage, monkey see, monkey do should be totally put aside. Monkey see, monkey do is not way of life in year 2000. In year 2000, think and do. Be clever. Instead of do whatever he do, that monkey do, think why that garbage do that. It is the way of new life. Might put the monkey see, monkey do, and so on aside. And those people who want you like that, they are your enemy. Put them aside. I don't know what. In internet and so on, there was once that I see some girls, what you call it, they are talking about religion and so on in YouTube. Before that, I saw some what they call themselves leader of personality and so on. I don't know what is their name. and they tell you what is good you do, how you can strengthen your own personality, your own character, and how you can better enjoy the world and so on. Then we saw that in Norway, a shaman, a black shaman, married a Norwegian princess, which, in case of Norwegian family, I said there is a lot of things that they are, what you call it, it is garbage about them. One of them is this, that suddenly their princess marry a black guy, and he's a prophet, and he has many, what you call it, miracles and so on. And so all these leaders of personality, people who are personality coach and so on, they are very fan of him, how he was good, you know. Well, of course, he was a normal guy and he married a princess. It is, well, he was very clever in this case. But all of these, suddenly, they are fan of his way, because the princess, as she interviewed, are 100 times is in love with him. So all these, what you call it, in YouTube, they become supporter of that. After that, well, they are not religious, this type of people. Some of them believe in yoga and this or that, and some Indians religions and so on, some Buddhism and so on, but they are not Christian. Then I saw some girls, what you call it, started in my YouTube. I saw them that they talk about Bible and religion and this or that. I listened to them. One of them, I see she is against what you call it, Hollywood, and what movies and in general what celebrities are bring, and she was very strongly against them. However, whenever I comment her, she says sometimes celebrities do wrong thing. For example, she say in her movies, she say I am Satanist and so on. In her life, she she tried to do bad things and so on. It is in this way she want to say this Satanist and this and that I stand in my movies, I stand as a celebrity, this is bad. If you expect her to be very good people, good woman, and Satan in her movies, well, it may bring this mistake that maybe it is good to be Satan, you know. If such a good guy is a Satan, so it's good to be Satan. So I wrote in my comments to her that sometimes it's because of that and so on. Then I saw that she brought two child's picture, and she accused me that I fuck children. And she gets supported by many others, you know, and I am dangerous to 2-3 years old children. Why? Because I fucked them. And those kids, what you call it, Hollywood Jesus and so on, they had part in all this setup and so on. And then we see, you know, that there are some Christian girls where every year they go to camping and so on, but suddenly flood come and kill 200 of them. And then this Hollywoody Jesus and so on, they say, it was that we wanted to say, that if our Christian girls and so on fight with him, God killed them. I'm against all of them, against all who accused me, against all that made this setup. They are murder of those innocent, or what you call it, Christian, innocent religious girls that they were there for what you call it, they were together there. It is what you call it, they wanted, it was a show power, you know. It is, they were to say, we have found a way to get God to do as we planned. This is garbage. They are true Satan. And in general, in case of YouTube and all those women, they are not bad. I don't say that they are bad. But it is wrong. Women, everything about women is sexy. Many of them, most of them, has many people who listen to them. Why? Because she's beautiful, you know. And it is wrong. Religious, or from religious part of the case, she is wrong. Only she is beautiful, only her husband should see her. Yes, she put something in front of her face and no one can see, but she talk, you know, well, and in a way not sexy, not sound sexy, not sound as a woman, but she say her word, well, it's okay. But if you see her beautiful face and she talk, no, that's wrong. Oh, you know, when she do that, the word that she say, it become the things that is the matter, the thing that he has to offer. But when you see that beautiful face, it is not the words, it is her beautiful face that attracts people, and it is wrong. It is totally wrong. Unless she can go and marry each of those guys that come for her beauty, it is wrong. And it was about that. And I love some of the beautiful children. In fact, I love them. And I did not fuck any children. In Iran now, what you call it? Well, I did not fuck any woman. I did not fuck what you call it, any man or anyone. And no, once I fucked, I think, a prostitute, but that was the only case. You know, and it was about that. And in case of, in general, all entertainment, movies, theater, music, what you call it, and these YouTube and so on, and all entertainment in general are wrong, you know. They are, we, mankind, we men should find what you call it, love and entertainment and enjoy in our women, and so our women and children must find their entertainment, their happiness, their love in the family that we have. It is that they have. It is the only right thing. Someone may entertain us and so on. It is right. You know, all these singer, music, what you call it, and everything else go wrong. As I said once in my speeches, I have told about Balal, who was a slave at Muhammad time, but Muhammad has freed him. He became Muslim, and he could not talk good, you know. And among all those people, the one that called people to come and make the daily prayer, Muhammad has chosen him, that even he did not sound so good. Why? Because it is important, because a man's sound can affect women, you know. So because of that, they put him. And even there was a what you call it? There was a aunt, daughter, or something like that that Muhammad had, and she wanted Muhammad. She had very pressure on Muhammad, but Muhammad had married her, had sex with her, and what you call it. And after that, he gave her to that guy, you know. Why? Because telling all these people, you know, that you see in the TV, in the radio, you call them celebrity, they are all those that steal your women's heart, your women's love, real love. All these women's, all these girls that you see in TV, in everywhere, they are those that steal love of your men. The woman that your men want is her. It's not any longer any of you. So because of that, all this TV, cinema, everything is garbage, you know. And in general, visibility is one of our very important senses, you know. Why a butterfly, you know, I call these small girls, I call them butterfly too, because they are very beautiful. But why a butterfly, animal, but insect butterfly is so beautiful? Because it is her way of protect herself. That little butterfly is beautiful. When you see that little butterfly is so beautiful, you do not kill her, you do not eat her, you know. You like that butterfly come and sit over your flowers, and you enjoy, but look at her, you know. Visibility, power to see, is the power that is a very invasive. They call these animals, these what you call it, plants, that if they come in, for example, in Australia, that there were not those rats and this or that, but they come with people and they took over everything. There were no camels. Now there are a lot of camels and so on. They call such things invasive, and visibility is an invasive talent, is an invasive sense. It takes over what we hear, it takes over whatever else aspect of our lives. So this TV and everything else are not good for us. It is seeing these beautiful celebrities is not good for you. And now I think I have said everything that I wanted to say. But in my case, you know, if I see beautiful girls in TV, if I whatever do good, whatever that I say here, you should, it is not good for you, but I do that. Yes, I do that. And it does not change that this wrong thing is good because I do that. No, dear, I do wrong thing when I do such things. If I drink a beer or alcohol, it does not mean that alcohol or beer, maybe tomorrow, because I'm invited to a Christmas party, maybe I drink there. Because I drink there, it does not mean that it's okay. No, dear, drinking is what that destroy all of your lives. Drinking has effect, it is effect of drinking that your society is like that your family is like that. And drinking is not good, because I do that too does not give you any right to do the same. The wrong is wrong, even I do or not. And well, I end with the picture that I have put in the start of the video. Is there was a what you call it, supermarket that they left it because I don't know, there is people does not need supermarket so much, many of them has moved and so on. So I bought it very cheap and I started to repair it. Now there is two things I want to say. You can see that everywhere else in Denmark, house prices come down, you know, come as much down that it does not really worth to build something new, you know. It is expensive. You should, the money that you use to buy material, to buy work time of people who worked that and built that, it is when there is the finished job worth much less that you have paid to build it. But in Copenhagen, it is the other way. You use 1/10 of, for example, you use 200,000, 1000, what you call it, 1 million to build something. Well, after you build it, it's worth 10 million, you know. So whatever you use, in Denmark, it becomes like that. Because of that, someone economically, no one like me can buy something like that, and it is what that it does not worth for what you call it, any real business people, because well, if you want a good thing, you should level it and build it again. And building something like that will cost 1-2 million. And there, well, if it wanted to work, the thing that is there would have not closed down. And if he want to build that 2 million, if he take his 2 million in Copenhagen, his 2 million will, after it's finished, become 20 million worth. But if he build it here, his 2 million become 500,000. It is the Denmark, or that, what you call it, Danish politicians has made. And I'm against that too. I said, this way that they are running their politics, their old laws, their old rules does not work. Their old laws send people, take people job, make them work, what you call it, workless, and send them to Copenhagen, send them away from where they are. Therefore, they must change their law and what you call it, and make it worse for people to live away from Copenhagen. There must be a lot of things that they cannot do in Copenhagen. It is illegal in Copenhagen, but it is legal in their village. There must make such changes in the law that send people back to what you call it, their villages and their small cities and so on. There must be something that people come back for. If there be nothing as it is today, and there is a lot of things in Copenhagen, well, only the idiots remain, or people maybe like me that they cannot go there because they cannot find any place to live there. We stay here, but those who can go, they go, This, if it is not a matter of Denmark, it is a matter of every country, every, all the countries, all the big cities, they have such a problem. It is, you hear that in Spain, in Sicily, in Italy, in everywhere else, there are some villages, some small cities that everybody has left, and the whole city is closed, This thing, to stop these things, you must change the law for these cities, change the law for this small, villages and so on, that people go back. There be something there, you cannot, if there be between nothing and a lot of things, well, people come to a lot of things. But if you change the law between something, well, okay, a little more thing, but not the things that you can have. You cannot afford all these things there. But here, you can make money and you can afford these things. Will there be something? People come back. Not be anything, they continue, make the garbage big cities with a lot of people and empty villages. And it was about that. Well, I think I am not so much, active in daily politics. For example, what President Trump do, or what this king say, or what that, I do not read such news. In case of kings and so on, I do not read what they say or what they do. Or if they want me to hear what they say, they must, send someone directly to myself with their words or whatever. In And in case of rest of the parties, and election, as I said, it is traitors are as much that even in Denmark to put Frederick on throne, right and left together make a government, you know. Until yesterday, wow, they are right, you know. You talk with a guy and he see you, why you talk with him? He is right, you know. We are left, you should not talk with him. And now to put the Frederick up there, left and right together. It is, they are all traitors, you know. World, it is not only Denmark, the whole world is like that. Well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and all that I said in this video in part 1 and part 2, I mean that, and even if I do not live by what I say here, what I have said, that is the word, that is the right, and even I am wrong when I don't do that. Thank you for listening.